I am here to give you an introduction to leadership. With the ever evolving healthcare industry, one truth will always remain constant. Leadership in nursing practice directly impacts organizations' drive, performance, and people, both caregivers and patients alike. As hospitals and healthcare systems strive to improve patient care, an emphasis is placed on adopting characteristics of highly reliable organization. An organization that works to create environment in which potential problems are anticipated, detected early, and nearly always addressed early enough to prevent catastrophic consequences. In truly highly reliable organization, leadership skills are encouraged throughout the organization. While it's often common to focus leadership efforts at the highest level of a hospital or healthcare system, middle managers, such as nurse leaders, are key to organization success and directly impact many frontline caregivers and healthcare workers. It is also important that we define what leadership is. Leadership is a transactional process, meaning to say, a leader is affected and affects the followers. Leadership is also transitional. Within a team, leadership moves around the team and is dependent on the stage of the process. Another is leadership involves influence in a group with common purpose. Without influence, a leader does not exist. Leadership involves attainment of goals and directing a group of individuals to achieve that goal. Lastly, leadership is a multifactorial and distinct from management. Now, why do you think leadership matters in nursing? One of the primary functions of nursing leaders is to bring individual nurses together as a team. Without the nurse leaders, individual nurses would carry out their jobs independently and would likely miss key opportunities for communication, growth, education. By bringing treatment team together, nurse leaders verify that each nurse is obeying the same high standard of quality of care and safety. So basically, a nurse leader gels the team. Additionally, if nursing team is not following a certain protocol, the nurse leader takes this opportunity to educate the entire team about the proper methods. It is normal for employees to become complacent and cut corners as they become more comfortable with their roles. However, it is the nurse leader's job to ensure that this complacency and comfort does not morph into dangerous habit or poor performance. That is why you basically educate the entire team as a nurse leader. Lastly, nurse leaders maintain rigorous standards of care that patients and their families come to expect from exemplary hospital facility. Nurse leaders bridge the gap between policy and practice by ensuring that all members of the team are obeying the safety protocol. Not only do the nurse leaders protect patients in this way, but also they improve the reputation, their nursing team, the nursing profession, and the healthcare facility as a whole. Now, have you ever realized what kind of leader you are? According to theories, there are three main leadership styles. Okay, the autocratic or the authoritarian leader, the democratic or the participative leader, and the laissez-faire or the delegative leaders. Which do you think you are? Now let's go into details what are the characteristics of those three leadership styles. The autocratic leader or authoritarian leader, basically the power is given, okay, and decision is made alone by the leader. So meaning to say there is total control of authority. He closely supervises and controls people when they perform tasks. While as democratic or participative leader basically includes or one or more people in decision-making process of determining what to do and how to do it. It also maintains the final decision-making authority. So even if we give certain recommendation, the leader takes the final. While as the laissez-faire or delegative states that, there is less, more. Basically, it allows people to make their own decision. So you let them be. And leader is still responsible for the decisions that they are making. This style allows greater freedom and responsibility for the people. However, you need competent people around you or nothing will be done. Laissez-faire is a French phrase for let do. So you let your people do the thing as they will. So let us look at the angle of the three leadership styles based on authority. So you see the autocratic, you give command that you do this, you do that. You dictate basically what your people will do. While as laissez-faire, do this, that as you see fit. So you will have much freedom as a follower. While as the democratic will seek your opinion, what do you think we should do? So you decide as a team. Other emerging styles of leadership are charismatic leader and servant leader. Charismatic leaders basically gathers followers through dint of personality and charm, rather than any form of external power or authority. Some prominent qualities of charismatic leaders are the following. They have vision, they're good speakers, and high principles. So this particular characteristic basically drives followers to idolize and follow this of leaders. So one basic example is Barack Obama, where he leads by creating energy and eagerness in people. Leader is well liked and inspires people. That's the key word when we are talking about charismatic leaders. They basically inspire, motivate people. Appeals to the people's emotional side. Greenleaf is the founder of servant leadership, where he said, quote unquote, servant leadership always emphasizes, always accepts the person, but sometimes refuses to accept some of the person's effort or performance as good enough. So these are the characteristics of servant leadership. You are self-aware, so you know your limitations, you know your capabilities, and you know your visions. You are basically humble, so you get opinion from others, you don't get your head up high, and you learn from others. You have strong integrity, that you are not affected by other principles or wrong motives. You are result oriented, you are focused on your goal. You have this foresight, so you get to anticipate what may transpire in the future. And one good thing is you know how to listen to your people. You don't abuse authority. You have what we call the intellectual authority. You have these collaborative skills. You trust your people. You coach them, and you resolve conflicts. Servant leader, uh, one good example is Mahatma Gandhi. The highest priority of this leader is to encourage, support, and enable people to fulfill their full potential and their abilities. Basically, you are empowering your people as well. Helps people achieve their goals and works for the people. So, as a famous leader saying goes, find yourself in service of others. Now, the question is, what leadership style best describes you? On your next activity, you'll be able to realize what is your leadership style. That ends our discussion for the introduction to nursing leadership.